Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this webinar. This is the third webinar of a webinar series of the Network of Researchers in Sustainable Entrepreneurship and Innovation. This is an initiative of Enhanceria, which is the project that supports the research and innovation dimension of the Enhanced Alliance of European Universities of Technology. Today we have Krzysztof Ejsmont. He's an assistant professor at the Faculty of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering at Warsaw University of Technology. And the university is, of course, part of Enhanced Alliance. The title of today's webinar is Sustainable Business Models in Practice. Krzysztof will be sharing the results of a project on platform-enabled kits of AI for SMEs. The project is EU funded, and the short acronym for it is KIT for SME, but I'll leave the floor for you to talk all about it. Thank you very much, Krzysztof, for accepting the invitation, and we look forward to hearing your insights. And I would encourage the participants to leave their questions in the Q&A, so we will take them at the end of this after your presentation. Yeah. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Anmar. So of course I will share a screen, my presentation. I hope that you can see presentation. Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thanks. So as Anmar said, my name is Krzysztof Ejsmont. I represent Faculty of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering at Warsaw University of Technology. And today I want to bring your attention to results of my work, which I was coordinator of deliverable in this European project. And my main aim was create a sustainable business model for AI platform. So this is, we can set platform as a service. And of course, today I will try to show the all results, so how I applied methodology, and of course, finally get the business model for this kind of platform. So of course, this business model was created based on the European project Kit for SME. The aim of this project was create a platform on which SMEs can find a lot of AI solutions, AI modules, so they can create kits, and of course they can apply these solutions to their production system. So we can say that the main aim of this project was dissemination of AI through the European manufacturing SMEs. So this was the main aim. And of course, if you want to know more about the project, so this is of course official website, T4SME EU. And of course, in this website, you can find a lot of interesting information about the project, so the aim, the scope, the partners. Of course, WT was one of the 18 consortium partners. The leader was SUPSI, a university from Switzerland. And what was the main concept of this Kit for SME project? So in this project, the main aim was create a platform on which many AI solution providers, many AI developers can put their solution, their modules, of course, based on AI. And on this platform, of course, manufacturing SMEs can find a lot of interesting solutions that they can solve their problems. So we can say that we want to create a platform which will connect not only supply and demand side, but also consultants, digital innovation hubs, so some partners that can, of course, make easier matching the demand and supply side. So this is multi-sided platform, we can say. And of course, during this project, we have type A and B open calls. So this was the competitions for external entities that they can apply for some funds. And of course, they created AI solutions that we finally included in our platform. Of course, we have 4 industrial pilots, which we can verify the AI solutions. But of course, then also the very important part of this project was not only technical implementation, not only, of course, create of the AI platform, but also business, of course, to create a business model, which we can, of course, sell these solutions to the market, which we can, of course, disseminate. So this was the main concept. And of course, my part of work on this project was mainly dedicated business value and of course business model for this kind of solution. So the value proposition was very simple. So we want to create a one-stop shop for customized, trustworthy AI solutions dedicated for manufacturing SMEs, of course, in a proper scale and of course reasonable cost. So we want make AI solutions more available, especially in manufacturing SMEs in the production shop floors. So this is the value that, of course, we want to transfer to our main customers, so manufacturing SMEs. And the main focus based on this value proposition and, of course, based on my part of work in this project was development of a sustainable business model for the multi-sided Kit for SME platform. So basically, of course, I will try to convince you that I have created optimal business model, taking into account a lot of needs of different stakeholders and, of course, economic feasibility. So this was the business model task. And of course, today I will try to show how methodologically I have done all the steps and finally get the business model for this platform. So some theoretical background. So the platform business have become one of the latest research topics in various management disciplines. So they are more and more popular. So of course, many companies creating platforms to disseminate and of course to make available their solution. So multi-sided platforms, of course, they allow a direct interaction between 2 or more entities, which are, of course, associated with the platform. We have nowadays available many multi-sided platforms available on the market. For example, Uber, PayPal, Booking.com. So a lot of course, these companies have these kind of platforms. And of course, why the growing interest of these kind of platforms appear? Because, of course, they can minimize the transaction cost between the sites. So, of course, they can have very reasonable cost of using them and the solution that, of course, they provide. And, of course, the power of the business based on the digital economy. So it's much easier to adapt and cope with the complexity of the market and, of course, more rationally, of course, available value to the market. So this is the background and why these platforms are more and more popular. Of course, we have a lot of approaches and methodologies for creating business models for the multi-sided platforms. Of course, Alwines proposed a business model canvas based, of course, on the Osterwalder business model canvas approach to illustrate the multi-sided platform business. So this is, we can set a very traditional tool, because business model canvas is, of course, not definitely new tool, but this author adapt this to the multi-sided platforms. Also, we have a business model kit, which is proposed by the Board of Innovation. Of course, we have a lot of blogs with various stakeholders and value proposition. And of course, we can also try to share our value and of course communicate our business model to different entities. We have also lean canvas, which is just modification of the traditional business model canvas. We can also adapt this lean canvas to propose the business model. But based on this literature review that I have made and based on my experience, all of these tools are very basic, and it's very hard to achieve holistic business model, which include a lot of different components. So they are rather very good to just broad general picture of the business. But of course, we need more detail and more advanced, definitely methodology to create a business model. This kind of methodology is definitely a platform design toolkit, so PDT, which was created by Cicero in 2015. And this methodology was chosen, of course, to create a business model. So this is very well structured methodology, especially dedicated for the multi-sided platforms. And of course, it's much more detailed than traditional tools like business model canvas or lean canvas. So this is more detailed. So which methodology I have adapted? So on the beginning, initial steps like definition of stakeholder needs, which is of course the core of every business model. So of course we must know the expectation of the users, of of course stakeholders. Then of course I have identified the value propositions for the end users, or for the users of the platform. So I have done state of art, so literature review. Of course, I have scrolled 3 scientific databases, Google Scholar, Web of Science, and Scopus, and want, of course, to find information regarding the business models for the multi-sided platforms. I have done also competitor analysis, so I have analyzed the similar platforms that exist on the market and, of course, offer AI solutions. Then, of course, I applied traditional business model canvas, which was the basic and the core point. And then, of course, I applied platform design toolkit methodology, which is much more advanced. And this is not only a scientific tool, but this is rather, we can set market tool. So it's meaning that it was verified that this tool was adapted in many companies, and of course they achieved very credible business models for their platform. So this is not only scientific methodology, but basically also commercial methodology for the creating business models. Of course, during this project, because this project, of course, have started in October 2020, so it took 42 months. We have done a lot of work, so workshops, of course, some general assembly meetings. So we have collected in the first step the stakeholder needs. We assumed on the beginning 3 main groups. So of course SMEs, manufacturing SMEs, which is the main target, the main of course user, but also digital innovation hubs, which they can of course matching the supply and demand side. So they are intermediate between of course supply and demand side, and of course AI developers. So of course as you can see, stakeholder needs are different in these of course 3 basic groups. So SMEs, of course, they want to apply AI to faster data processing, forecasting, planning. So, of course, also using AI to analytics, to of course, analyze a lot of data. But, of course, needs for the AI developers, they are totally different. So, of course, they want to sell their solution. They want, of course, create AI customized solution for the SMEs. So it's meaning that in this kind of platforms, when we have more than only traditional 2 sides, so seller and buyer, so of course we must include a lot of different needs, and this was the first challenge to create business model which can offer, of course, fulfill these needs of the different stakeholders. And then, of course, we have identified value propositions. So this is for the end users, so manufacturing SMEs. Of course, we have done also this activity in the DIFs and of course AI developers. And of course, we also know on which elements we should focus in business model. So of course, we want to have reasonable costs of solutions. Of course, we want to have easier AI solution finding. So of course, more availability, faster data analysis. So a lot of stuff. It's related, of course, to the value proposition that, of course, our platform should, of course, deliver to the market. So this was also done. And state of art of AI platforms for manufacturing. As I said, I have searched a lot of texts, a lot of papers in Web of Science, Scopus, and Google Scholar. And the first two, of course, they are, I think, the most prestigious databases for the scientific papers. And Google Scholar is, of course, also for the white papers and, of course, from many other sources. So I have searched articles regarding AI platforms for manufacturing, of course, business models for this kind of platforms. And I identified a few papers which present this topic. So, for example, in the Weber, they are considered the problem of differences between traditional business model and, of course, this business model which are dedicated for the IT industries and, of course, for the digitalization. So this was the interesting paper, how, of course, they are different, of course, what unique values we should include in the business models for this kind of platforms. And in the second paper, the author, the Schaltforsti, proposed a division of stakeholder ecosystems for the business model platform based on IoT and AI. And also in this paper, we can find which are the main stakeholders groups and which are the most common approach to create business models. But of course, I didn't find a paper which I can see the very clear methodology from the start to the end. And of course, this was the problem. So we have some background, we have, of course, some papers that I, of course, based, but definitely I should also create their own framework and, of course, their own work to create a business model. Of course, we have a few platforms which are quite similar to this Kit4SME platform. So they offer AI solutions, they offer, of course, AI services. So some of them are based on the European projects like Zero Defect Manufacturing Platform or Shop4CF. So they are also European projects, Horizon 2020. But of course, our platform is more unique because the range of the solutions is much broader in Kit4SME platform. And also, when I scroll these platforms, I want to find some solutions, some informations. So of course, it's not publicly available how they created business models. So it's not. It was not so easy also to make some benchmark and of course see how they did their business model. Of course, from the technical side, from the key technologies, from the methods of customer acquisition, our platform also is different than this platform. So we can say that we're creating something maybe not totally new, but definitely new. And of course, this is also potential in the market. And of course, on the beginning, after this initial workshop, which we identified the stakeholder needs, of course, value proposition that we can offer, and we should, of course, deliver in the platform, we have created traditional business model canvas, which, of course, Osterwalder have created many years ago. Here, in these colors, you can see three main stakeholders. So, of course, manufacturing SMEs, digital innovation hubs, and AI developers. So we have, of course, different value propositions and, of course, different channels for different stakeholders. But this is just the general, of course, picture. So this is, we can set the very basic scope of work. But definitely we must go deeper, because in this canvas model, as you see, the cost structure, the revenue streams, they are on a very basic level. So this is rather the direction that we want to go, and not of course the detailed information. So as I said, I applied this PDT methodology, which consists 8 main steps from the creating ecosystem. To create a minimum viable platform, so the platform that is ready from the business point of view to be available on the market, and of course to sell the solution, and of course generating the revenues. Yes, so we have, of course, these 8 steps, which are, of course, very well described in the PDT methodology, of course, website. Of course, I also have published some results in the Springer book. So this is the title of the book, Artificial Intelligence in Manufacturing. John Soldados was the editor, the main, of course, editor. And I, with, of course, my colleagues, have published the paper, Multi-Sided Business Model offering AI services. Of course, if you are interested, you can, of course, open, it's open access book. And of course, you can see description of all of these stages. So today, because time is very limited, I just want to show you the main results that I have, of course, done in these 8 steps. The main step, of course, was create a Kit for SME ecosystem. So we can say that there's some structure, which entities, which stakeholders are the most important from our point of view. According to this methodology, we have 4 basic groups. So platform owners, partners, peer producers, and peer consumers. And of course, partners are entities that are very strictly related with the Kit for SME platform owners. So this could be cloud providers, of course, platform component providers and multipliers. And also open core winners, because of course they will make available their solution in our platform. And of course, peer producers are AI developers, because they will, of course, generate the solutions that are available in our platform, and know-how providers, of course, know-how in AI field. And of course, our main peer consumer was defined manufacturing SMEs, which is of course in line with the project of course scope. And of course, external stakeholders can be consultants, can be of course some agencies that of course can just show that the potential customers that of course we have this kind of platform, and of course can adapt the solutions. And on the end of this methodology, the Kit for SME platform design canvas, which is more detailed than traditional business model canvas, was created. So here we can say that, of course, we create a platform which made possible, of course, to download a lot of AI solutions, make it available. So our current initial value proposition was, of course, a lot of AI solutions, which in, of course, different purposes can be adapted in the production systems. Of course, this will be disseminated via different channels. So our platform, of course, some digital innovation hubs, and of course other entities which can be, of course, on the middle between supplier and customer. Of course, we have a lot of partners. We have, of course, definitely a lot of AI developers which won't sell their solution to our platform. So this is, of course, more detailed business model canvas based on this PDT methodology. Also, we have created a minimum viable platform. So we identified a lot of services that, of course, it could be a base, it could be a core of our business model. So as you see, a lot of these services are on TRL 6, 7, 8. So they are ready, of course, to use for the market. Because our business model will be based on available of a lot of services, a lot of solutions that, of course, companies and users, of course, can very easily adapt. So it's meaning that we won't just sell a lot of services that support AI applications, and of course we want to sell a lot of AI services. For a moment, of course, I will describe this in detail, but this is the main the core of the business model. So the pricing mechanism. So we have the Kit for SME platform, which will be, of course, managed of the platform owner. So we have peer producers and, of course, peer consumers. So this is the traditional, of course, two sides of the market. We have also third-party developers. So, for example, Ramp Marketplace. We have cloud providers, platform component providers. Also, we can have some advertisers. And as you can see, we can definitely create two basic types of fees. So, of course, the transaction fee that, of course, somebody just can, of course, access to our AI solutions, AI modules, of course, our services that can support AI applications. And, of course, we have very typical for the all kinds of platform subscription, of course, model that somebody, of course, will pay per month or per year some of those amount of money, and of course have access to all solutions that we offer. So on the beginning of the platform life, I think the most proper model is based on the transaction. So the platform will charge mostly the transaction fee for transfer, some AI solutions, and of course some dedicated assistance, so AI services. And of course, membership fee will be only for some services, and all others will be offered for free. So this is on the beginning of platform life. So the transaction rather model. And of course, the next one is, of course, when we achieved enough customers, enough, of course, users, so critical mass, we can set. Then, of course, we want to switch our model main to the membership, so subscription fee, which is, of course, more stable. And, of course, we can generate the cash flow, which is more predictable. And, of course, we know what is our incomes. Of course, I have included also a lot of cost elements to this kind of platform. So, of course, definitely we will have some entities that can, of course, provide our services, our AI solutions. So, for example, DIGS or RAMP Marketplace, which also will be show our solutions and make this more available. We have, of course, marketing activities, legal service, hosting services, platform management, human resources. So, of course, I have identified and, of course, assumed based on some, of course, research the range of the costs. And after this, we have created a business plan. Of course, we assumed 4 different price categories of customized packages. Yes, so of course, it depends what will be the kit of the solution. So how many, of course, solutions, modules the company, of course, need. Then, of course, we also provide a consultancy and platform services. So, of course, we will support from the beginning to the end of implementation. I have estimated these numbers based on the research, based, of course, on some surveys. So some, of course, initial interesting of our platform. And as I said, after the first 2 years, we assume that, of course, we achieve enough number of customers, of course, to switch the main revenue model for the subscription. And of course, we identified also two kinds of subscriptions. So on the first one, we have, of course, the basic functionalities, and of course, in the second one, more advanced, extended, but not all companies may need, of course, this kind of functionality. So of course, we also included these 2 types of elements. And this is the example how the generation of and sharing of the revenue could be done. So we have the final user, so manufacturing SME, and they want adapt some AI solution. Yes, so of course, in this cost, 3,450 euro, it's of course the cost of this AI solution, which is fatigue monitoring system. You see here that it's available on the RAMP Marketplace, and in this RAMP Marketplace, of course, we can choose this solution. Of course, we have description. Of course, we have some short video how it works. Of course, the companies can say that, okay, we want this solution adapt to our production system. Of course, we have consultants and platform service cost and commissioning. So we have then AI provider, system integrator, RAMP and kit for SME. So of course, we can set that, of course, AI provider and system integrator will, of course, get the money for creating this kind of solution. And then, of course, we split the commission from between RAMP and kit for SME if somebody, of course, use RAMP to make our solution available. And also kit for SME can generate a consultancy and platform services. Of course, we can provide a lot of services. And here, this is the business plan. So, of course, we have estimated 5 years horizon. In the year 0, which is first year after the end of the project, we still need, of course, some investors. We need still some, of course, fundings to make increasing our TRL. And after this, of course, we will generate the revenues. After this analysis, we can see that sensitivity analysis is in a very good level. So even if our assumed values will decreasing of 40 or 60% of the customer, which is, of course, quite high numbers, it still will be beneficial. So NPV still will be higher than 0. So it's very, we can say, stable business. So quite interesting. And the risk, of course, are very, very low in terms, of course, of the funding. And on the end, of course, we have the business analysis map. So of course we have created also the risk analysis. So what can make wrong? So what can be negative side of our business? So also during the workshops we have discussed the risks. So for example, what will happen if we will not fulfill the expectation of the customers, what we should do, so what we should do if we're not convincing enough investors, of course, to develop the TRL. Also this kind of analysis have been done. So this is the end of my presentation. Of course, I have published some results in the Springer book, but also, of course, in the deliverable, which consists more than 100 pages. So here it was just a very short description what we have done. So thank you very much for your attention. Of course, if you want to contact me or read more about these business models and of course how I have done this research, so please contact me via email, mobile phone, or you can find me also in Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, and many other platforms. So of course I encourage you to contact, and I will be glad if you want to join to discussion and ask some questions. So thanks.
Thank you very much, Krzysztof, for a very interesting presentation. It was nice to hear about this project. Before I open the floor for questions and answers, is the project already concluded?
Yeah, the project have finished in 31st March. So
Yeah.
Now we are waiting to the final General Assembly, which will take place in 11th of June in Warsaw. So we are after the end of the project, but still we have the final General Assembly with the European Commissioners. And of course, I will also present, of course, much shorter presentation regarding the business model. So of course, my also very big request is, your advice, some comments, suggestions, because I still will defend, of course, this approach to European Commissioners. So this is still ahead.
Yeah. Please, anyone who would like to ask questions, please either use the Q&A function or simply write them in the chat, or even raise your hand, and then you can speak if you wish to raise your questions or comments or reflection. In the meantime, I do have two questions for you, if I may. The first question is regarding the next steps. Do you have already ideas and plans to build on this project, maybe apply for a future project that kind of moves on with it or build on it, further develop it?
Yeah, so definitely the first task after the end of the project, which is basically now. So of course we must still develop some functionalities of the platform. So some TRLs are not satisfied. So as I present here, some elements are on the TRL, for example, 5 or TRL 6, which is not enough, of course, to make this available on the market. So definitely we should still increasing some functionalities, of course, developed more from the technical side, of course, some elements of the platform. So we want to achieve TRL minimum 7. Of course, the best is 8 or 9, but it's sometimes very hard. So the next steps could be definitely increasing the TRLs in some main technical functionalities, main technical, of course, solutions. And secondly, of course, we must thinking what should be the legal entity. So it should be, the startup, it should be a spin-off. So we must, of course, decide on which form and who with this consortium, of course, members want to manage this platform, because as we probably agree, business model is one, but secondly, somebody must, of course, manage, somebody must, of course, operating the business. So this is the two main issues. So the first one is, of course, still develop some functionalities and technical side of the platform. And secondly, of course, find a proper management of the platform owner. We can set who will be the owner, what will be the intellectual property rights, etc. So this is the next steps in terms of the business.
Yeah, and the next question, I'm not sure if it's within your particular scope, but bringing the discussion towards sustainable development, or touching upon environmental sustainability, social sustainability. Any reflections on the potential of such platforms on that? I mean, yes, in theory, the sharing economy, the platform economy, and we've been reading about its potential to contribute to environmental sustainability. What are your reflections, especially on the manufacturing and the production system that we?
I can say based on, of course, pilots in this project, because of course we have 4 pilots. One was in the Polish company Technik. So we can say that definitely these AI solutions, the one of the main aspects in this project was also the sustainability aspect. So this AI solution can help, of course, avoid wastes for the companies, make better decision, decreasing the scrap levels, for example. So maybe in this business model, it was very hard, of course, to show this sustainability of those aspects. But through this platform, we offer a lot of AI solutions, which, of course, can help companies achieve more sustainable production, of course, green, eco aspects. It was verified also via these pilots that, of course, they reduce the scrap level. They increasing, for example, the job satisfaction, because if you work in the environment which you can support in a right way the AI solutions, so then of course it's also better for you to work. So I mean that some goals of this project was definitely focus on the social and environmental aspects, and these AI solutions that they are of course available. So if somebody wants, of course I can send links, of course I can send videos for these pilots. So you can see that we achieve also a lot of social and environmental aspects through these solutions. And of course, these solutions will be sold via this platform. So we can say that, indirectly we also put attention to these aspects.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from the audience from Krzysztof. The question is just curious if there is any AI tool / solution which has been used more often than others in the pilot implementation, for example. Krzysztof, if you would like to add anything, I gave you the permission to speak, so please feel free.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Krzysztof.
Yes.
So I'm curious about because there are many of the whole bunch of AI tools, many for different solutions, for different application, and I know that you probably use many of them, or maybe all of them. So I'm just curious if there is any tool, AI tool, which was used more often than the other. For example, in implementation. Krzysztof.
Okay. So the question is, of course, very interesting, but I am, as you probably, Krzysztof, know, because we know very well each other, I am not a technical person, so I was not responsible for the creating AI solutions, definitely. I think we have Jacek Kozłowski here, which was responsible for the Technik pilot from the WT side. So Jacek, if you want, you can support me. But according to my knowledge, the machine learning, the deep learning, the neural networks, so the most popular AI tools was developed, of course, in a different purposes. But as I said, this is not my part of the job in this project. But so it's very hard question for me to answer properly. But from my perspective, I am more than sure that we used neural networks, machine learning, deep learning. So the very common, of course, AI tools. But as I said, the application is different. I think that we have one main area of the application was the quality control. So we won't just detect some, irregularities, some of those mistakes, some errors. So of course we applied some neural networks, some of course this kind of elements. But this is technical questions. So if you want, of course, I can talk with technical guys, technical team in this project, which were responsible, of course, to build a lot of AI solutions models, and I can
that's fully
use this later.
understandable, Krzysztof. Thank you so much for your answer. And I was curious because, yes, you mentioned about the neural networks. I also used neural networks many times in my research. So it's very one of the best, my favorite tool for implementation. Yeah.
Of course, some AI algorithms, some big colonies, of course, some algorithms, but of course, I think you know them also very well, better than me even.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And I see Jakek is raising his hand as well, so feel free to.
Yeah. Wait a second. Okay. Hello. Are you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Well.
Okay. Chris, I just want to extend and support other Chris with the answer. Of course, on the designing stage, we tested various solutions. The key problem was that it was not possible during the implementation to implement the solution that allow to predict the quality problems in advance. That's why we decided to implement the solution, which was the solution that was developed by the Ginkgo, now Eraneos company, who are the developers. And it is not a neural network solution, but still AI, no worry. And it was only one which was practically and finally tested. Alternative one were tested by the WT team, Ginkgo, now Eraneos company team, but finally we decided to use and test only one solution.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answer, for updating the answer very well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we have time for one last question if anyone has. If so, please raise your hand or write it in the Q&A or the chat. Doesn't really matter. But the time is running indeed. We're running out of time. Okay, in this case, do you have any final comment, Krzysztof, before we end this webinar?
I just want to thank you for your attention. I hope that, of course, you will contact me maybe later, because I know that sometimes it's very hard to formulate a question in a few minutes after the presentation. But of course, I encourage you to contact me. Of course, I would like to thank you, Anmar, for you, and of course for the Warsaw University of Technology to give this opportunity of speech. It was very important for me because, as you probably know, external validation, external presentations of the results for the Kit for SME project and any other projects of the European Union is of course very welcome, because we have this dissemination aspect also important in the final evaluation. So thank you very much, and I hope that of course you will contact me later via ResearchGate, LinkedIn, email, or whatever. And of course I will make available this presentation. So if Anmar, you can, I will share it with you, and of course then you can I don't know, make this presentation open access or publicly available. So if you want, make deeper analysis of this content, and of course have some questions, maybe you can contact me later after the webinar.
Yes, we will share the slides with all the participants, all the attendees, and also the recording of this webinar will be available online on YouTube. So thank you all for joining us. Special thanks to you, Krzysztof, for sharing the insights of this project. I wish you good luck with finalizing everything and the next project. Thank you very much for.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.